Hi, I'm Gabrielle, and this is The Invisible. This is a podcast about everything that quietly shapes our lives, their inherited patterns, the protective layers, and the invisible forces we can feel but rarely see. The ones that influence our health, relationship, work, and the choices we make every day. My intuition is to bring light to these hidden layers so what has been unconscious can finally become conscious and therefore changeable. Before we begin, you'll find a free integration practice in the show notes. It's a beautiful combination of sound healing, tapping, and subconscious reprogramming, designed to help you integrate what we explore together today. I've also been receiving many requests for more sound practices, and I promise there are more to come. If you are standing at the edge of a big life transition, whether that's moving countries, changing careers, ending a relationship, starting one, or simply feeling that life is asking something new of you, you don't have to go through this alone. You can work with me inside of Essential Care, my 6 months one-on-one container, or through the root session if you are looking for support around one specific theme. You'll find everything in the show notes. So for now, let's begin. Today we are diving deep into burnout. It's a theme that is, there are so many researches around this. And sometimes burnout become the only language we finally hear, we finally pay attention to. But it has very high cost for the body and the physiology. And most of the time, it's the cost of high performance and over adaptation. And what I want to share with you is that healing, the path of healing, is a true love story with the self and for the self. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the extreme messages of the body, which are burning out and when the entire system collapses. So if you are going, even if your body has been telling you to stop for months, that podcast, that episode might bring you some light of those unconscious patterns. It's not about bringing judgment and shame and guilt around this, because those patterns are totally subconscious. If we could, have a hand on it, I don't think we would go to those extremes. I've been through one big burnout and a second one, and I will share about this, but it's not about judging ourselves. It's about being conscious of those subconscious patterns that are cutting our wings, that are cutting our creativity, that are sabotaging ourselves and the life that we really want. So, few examples. If you show up even if you feel drained, if you push past your limits, if you carry everything and you keep on telling yourself, oh, I will rest later, or I will take care of myself later. You wait to be sick, overwhelmed, depleted, or in pain before you finally allow yourself to stop. Then that might be for you. When you don't listen to the smallest signal or messages of your body, then your body learns that the only way you will listen is by collapsing and burning. So when persistent fatigue comes, the pain doesn't go away. The anxiety, the symptoms that no protocol can fully heal anymore because we've gone too far. So burnout and exhaustion are the hidden cost of being hermetic to your body's true needs. But remind yourself that you had to build those coping mechanisms. You had to build those resistances to survive, okay? So it's not about judging yourself here. That, oh yeah, but I have no idea what are my needs. Yeah, because you've built those very strong protective layers. And trust me, my walls are thick and high, and I work on it. I'm not telling you that you need to work really hard on those. No, we need to bring softness, acceptation, love and care to all those parts, to love them and to tell them that it is safe to love ourselves. It is safe to claim and love the life that we want. Okay, so the body is delivering messages that we cannot longer ignore. So now my own story. I personally know this pattern very well. I had a burnout just before my 30th birthday, 4 months. So I was really in my Saturn return. If you know my work, you know that I use a lot astrology and the transit within your story in our session. And interesting that I have many clients at the moment in their Saturn return. The first one around 28, 30 years old, and the other one that is around 56, 57? And it's really a huge opportunity to transform our life. It's kind of like a life check, a life call that, are you aligned? Is your ground really yours? Are your responsibility really yours? Or are you taking it from your lineage, from inherited patterns? So it's a very, very important transit in life where we are called to really do a very important check-in. Yeah, anyhow, back to my story. So I was working in high luxury fashion in Paris, even though if it was like definitely my passion and a true love story, the environment was very toxic, very abusive, very disrespectful, and those behavior were accepted as normal at the time in that world. And for I think already 2 years, I had totally bypassed my edges. And it was already 2 months that I was losing my memory. I could not remember how I was coming back home in the evening. I remember I was coming back home really, really late at night and coming back to work in the early morning. I don't remember how I was commuting until the day there was this really bad behavior from my +1, my boss, that was really, my God, she was so mean. I think she has no other way. She didn't know how to do that, but really she went a little bit too far. Came back home. I think it was past 10 p.m. I was cycling my bike. I don't remember how I came back home. I don't remember going to my bed. I don't remember waking up. And I went to my family because I needed to kind of like take this big L, and it's so funny because it's most of the time coming from the person that you really don't expect. But my father told me, you will never go back there. And even though my entire self, I was in total deny and I was in total block and I was resisting that, when I remembered that sentence, you will never ever go back there, I surrendered. And it's when I started to sleep, and I slept for 4 months. I didn't need to go to a special care home. A part of my family decided to take care of me because I could not feed myself. I could not function. For 4 months, I could not function. I can't even tell you the ripple effect on the physiology, on the hormones, on the skin. I lost my hair. It was pretty bad. And I was sick. So mainly during those 4 months, but then I was sick on timeline of 2 years. 10 years later, I can still see few symptoms, very mild, but yeah, it's real. And something I want also to share is that if you are a high achiever and you are used to go beyond your layers, I also had this member of my family that, it's funny because I was kind of like expecting from that person care and love and support, and actually it was mirroring her own difficulties. But that person was telling to me, you will be back. You will go back there to this job that you love. And I was like, I will never, ever, ever go back. So that was a personal share about that. So after the few days of resisting and denying, I remember visualizing the phoenix. I was visualizing all day long this beautiful bird that burns and turns into ashes and then will at some point rebirth in this beautiful golden and red color. So that was something that really, really helped me to surrender, because healing needs us to surrender fully and completely. And I don't know if you listen to podcasts about winter, a burnout of going to extreme, or you don't need to burn out. Even if you feel exhausted, stop, go into winter just for a little bit if you can. So after being 4 months in bed, I had the chance to go to Sri Lanka for an Ayurvedic cure. I really advise it to you. If you want the details, please contact me directly. And then it's when I went to live in New Zealand, where I did a big part of my healing, and then I went to transform totally my life and went to live in India, where I started my brand. I had a sort of a second burnout at the end of my brand, because it was quite hard to start a brand after a burnout, just to tell you that the layer of my high achiever self and kind of like workaholic tendencies. And after ending my brand, I had to go back to fashion for just a little while. And of course, just to mirror this lack of self-respect and self-love that I had, I went to this very famous luxury brand in Paris that was actually famous to send very young people into burnout. I stayed there 6 months. I think in 6 months we did 6 collections, or 8, like something totally mad. But luckily at the time my body raised the red flag earlier. So I didn't go fully into burnout, but I went into I really took some time. It's when I went to live on a beach in Ile-de-Ré in France. And this is also when I also started to decide that life is now. It's also when I lost my friend, and when I went really deep into realization that I cannot continue like this. So it's when I also started to think this has to stop. My life needs to change. A year later, I was in Mallorca. So I need to repeat that these are very, very deep currents that are running our life, and they are subconscious. They are not conscious. There are patterns that repeat because we haven't alchemized them yet. Okay, so we need to leave them until really we're like, okay, let's go to this therapy tool, or I don't know, essential care, root cause, whatever you find that is actually supporting you for you to get out of that loop, for you to alchemize these messages of your body, of your mind, of your psyche, of your subconscious, that you don't have to repeat this anymore. I was stuck in a pattern of bad treatment, and that is also something that I have in my lineage, in both actually, in my mother lineage of hyper-adaptation, and my father lineage is something else, but I'll share that another time. So what we don't know is that this pattern is not only personal, but as I just mentioned, it can be transgenerational, no? So for my mother lineage, it's over-adaptation, over-functioning, carrying everything just to survive, and a lot of people pleasing. So of course, at the time, we are in totally another time now, and it's not about judging anybody. It's more about, okay, it stops with me. It stops with me, and I have the courage and I have the tool, and I can reach out to the person who do that. But at the time, maybe for our ancestors, it was normal, and it was surviving to shut down, to cope, to adapt. It was a brilliant survival strategy that was passed down through our nervous system. But today, this strategy is a prison. And those strong protective layers make it feel dangerous to slow down, to choose ourselves, to stop proving our worth through productivity. So we keep performing and it's exhausting. Those are also form of loyalty. And like, oh, okay, I honor my lineage if I keep on over adapting or being a people pleaser. But we are not abandoning anybody. You know, we keep abandoning ourselves, playing small, being invisible. And until the body says no more. But the body is also holding this entire lineage. So it's also about softening, accepting, honoring these patterns passed on, inherited, those women before us that had to cope. So it's not about guilt and judgment and rejection. On the opposite, it's about bringing those parts and loving them and looking at them and honoring them and releasing with rituals. And burnout is definitely the price of maybe long, way too long patterns of hyper-adaptation. And I trained into systemic constellation. I don't know if you know about that. It's mind-blowing. It's a chat. It's a direct conversation with the subconscious, the psyche. And I am officially launching it today, bringing that tool into essential care and root cause. I can tell you that my protective layers are really strong. As I said, they are high and thick, my wall of protection. And it's very easy for me to go past my limit. I'm definitely a high achiever. I have tendency of being a workaholic and thinking also all these patterns of limiting beliefs of thinking that we have value if we produce. And so I work and I use all of those tools, the body, the subconscious, the constellation, the somatic tool of EFT, to really always come back to my body. But what do I need? What my body needs right now? You know, to really take care of myself, to really take this moment, this breath, this break. So also that's why I created my own technique. Because we need to go deeper. Those patterns have like such entangled and deep roots that we can very softly detangle and dissolve and transform into new golden root, juicy, you know, like plugged into love and abundance and creativity. We are allowed, you are allowed to have energy, to take care of it, to cherish your own energy, to maintain it, to take care of yourself. I don't want to say protect, but really like hold it, you know, this magnetic self of yours. Choose yourself and allow yourself not to spend it all. And I'm going to prepare a podcast on money and abundance and how sometimes, I don't know if you have this pattern of like spending it all. Oh, I don't have it anymore. I'm safe. Same for your energy. This pattern of give to be accepted and to have values. Those are protective patterns. So you don't need to wait until you collapse. You deserve rest to save your energy, your creativity, to listen to it, to listen to those very subtle and soft messages that are telling you that you are absolutely unique, you're absolutely amazing. And that's also what you will experience in our work together is I reflect back at you your zones of geniuses, your zones of genius. And this is exactly what I share in Essential Care and Root Session. It doesn't have to stay hidden. We are going to the roots, being really kind and soft, using the somatic work, constellation tapping, nervous system recalibration. And we meet those parts that are still running the show, and we are helping them very gently to feel safe and to, you know, like step by step to let them go, to dissolve them. You deserve a life that doesn't require you to abandon yourself to be worthy. Tell your nervous system it is safe to live the life that you want. I am safe to live the life that I want. And remind yourself, Healing is a true love story. It's a love. It's a story of falling in love with your life, of falling in love with all the parts of yourself, to reclaim all those parts back to you. I have accompanied, and I still accompany many women going through this threshold of transformation, when the body says, enough, I cannot do this anymore, I just can't, I'm like there. And life is definitely asking for something deeper, even if on the surface seems to be like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm okay. But deep inside, we know underneath there is this very deep process, and we meet these invisible layers that have been holding us back, and together we gently begin to dissolve them. That is why I created Essential Care. I have been going through my own collapses and transition. I could not find this kind of support I needed. Someone who could hold my nervous system while helping me understand what was really happening inside and underneath. And today is exactly the work that I offer. So if you're standing at the edge of a big transformation, my invitation is to ask yourself, am I building a life that can truly hold me? And the goal, of course, is to create a life aligned with your core self, with a capital S of self, a life that feels like a home where you can regenerate and shine and radiate. So if this episode resonated and you are standing at this age, I would be honored to accompany you. You will find all the details for Essential Care with session in the show notes. Don't forget that there is the free integration practice waiting for you there. It's there to help you embody what we have explored today. Thank you so much for listening to The Invisible. Until next week, take very good care of yourself and keep building a life that can truly and honestly and lovingly hold you.